looking like it's raining, but the sun still shines. Can someone give me shelter or release the time? Is anybody leaving? Can I catch a ride? Or maybe just a ride? It's been so long time when you see the light, but it's still darker than the longest night. I've just been a million miles away. Salvation from the blues that come my way. I wanna scream, I wanna dream, and I just find it all obscene. So I've just been a million miles away. Well, I'm keeping empty pockets, but my wallet's fat. Come around to see me, and I'll try to laugh. I'm so low, even when I'm high. So bloody I can't let it slide. No, not even when I'm on my stride. I've just been a million miles away. Salvation from the blues that come my way. I wanna scream, I wanna dream, and I just find it all obscene. So I've just been a million miles away, so far away.
Good evening, everybody. It's Friday night, my friends. It's the Friday before Christmas. Gonna be nice, hopefully, weekend for everybody. Hopefully, you got family or other things to bide your time this weekend. And generally have a good, happy weekend coming up here. What better way, I say, kick off this weekend by writing some code. I mean, I can't think of a better way to do it. Anyway, hello everybody. Hope everybody's been having a good week so far. Everyone's geared up, safe and sound, and all of those things. I know the weather has been frightful, at least in the U.S. here. It's been an interesting day. It was like just sitting here looking out the window. It was, giant snowflakes in the morning, then the sun came out, and then it's just wind now. So I have no idea what's going on. Apocalypse, potentially. Who knows? But I'm nice and warm, and I'm comfortable, and I guess that's about all I can ask for at this point. I hope everyone is safe and sound. It's gonna be a thing traveling this weekend, I suspect. Luckily, I only have an hour drive, so I'm not too bad. But others who have to take planes and trains and other things, good luck to you, I say. Good luck to you. So I have been working for most of the day on the reaction GIFs stuff. I made some progress. It's not the prettiest looking thing ever, but again, I don't have the eye for aesthetics. I also don't have the patience for aesthetics either. So I try to make it as decent as I can. And hi, Psychotic, welcome. I try to make it as decent as I can, and at least functional anyway. And that is basically what you're going to see here with what I've done so far. All the stuff you're seeing is live. It is coming from the API. So that's good stuff. As far as third-party integrations go, the Tenor API actually has been pretty straightforward, which is more than I can say for most Google APIs. So this has been basically going pretty well. I mean, the problems I've had were not with the API. They were with just me trying to get things to work properly here in this pop-up window. But we've got categories are linked up now. You can search for more results. It actually just resets the page and gives you the next page of results here. I did have it where it was like tacking on the results to the end, but it kept popping the scroll bar back up to the top, and I was like, you know what, screw it. We'll worry about that later. And then you can go back to the category list here. You can see featured stuff. You can see trending stuff. I don't have recent wired up yet, but we're going to do that hopefully in a little bit here. And I want to get the search going. So, this stuff is working for the most part. There's no there are titles and descriptions associated with all these icons, with all these GIFs, but most of the titles are empty for what I've seen, and most of the descriptions are the same thing over and over and over again. So I just said, you know what, screw it, I'm not even going to show them. We'll let the picture speak for itself, because otherwise most of this text, like this is the what was this, like cold weather here. Most of this stuff was like cold weather, cold weather, cold weather, cold weather, cold weather, cold weather, like all the way down the page. It's like, okay, that's not really helpful. So I just kind of left that off there. What I'd like to do though, I want to get the search bar working, so we can actually type things in here. Maybe possibly see if I can get the search suggestions going, like the autocomplete and stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence as whether or not I even care about the autocomplete and stuff. Like, I feel like you've got a couple options here, so I may or may not drop that one, at least for the first iteration, and just come back to it later. The reason I say that is because this whole pop-up it's been interesting to try to get it to work. Like the library I'm using works decently well, but it's definitely like trying to get it, like somehow I've managed to get this to stay the same height all the time. Like before it was like changing its height constantly and trying to get the scroll bar to work and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of little things that I was running into that thankfully I seem to have somewhat solved, somewhat. So we'll see. And I have to put the Tenor logo in here. This is literally the Tenor logo, the Powered by Tenor. It's not. I didn't create this. This is actually what came from their website as far as their logos they want you to use, where it's like either powered by or whatever. And you have to do this per their API rules. So that is why that is there. I could make it a little bit smaller, I guess, but you know what? I don't really care. Yeah, I could make it a little bit smaller. I don't know. I think that the only problem is if I make it... let's try it. Let's make it a little bit smaller and see if it doesn't stretch to high heavens here. Because I think it was... Because I think the original GIF... I actually have it here somewhere, don't I? Where's that? I have them somewhere. It's not there. Where was the... starts? It might do something like this with the autocomplete, because we can do badges and stuff. I kind of like that. Because all the Bootstrap stuff works in there. Where the hell was that at? Oh, attribution. Right. Here we go. You gotta do one of these. You gotta do Powered by Tenor, Search Tenor, or Via Tenor. So, the Search Tenor, I could use the placeholder text in the search bar, and that's enough for it. But I could get rid of the GIF altogether, I guess. But I kind of wanted to do both of these just to like make sure that they're happy. Let's see here. So this one is the one we're using. You can see it's like it's a funky size. So it's 2772 by 354. And that's what's been throwing me. Not every image is retrieved via search. Yeah, I mean that's the other reason why I was like I better put both of them there, just to be absolutely certain that they don't get upset about it. So I can do. What do I have it set for now? I have it set for 300 and try, or no, I have the height as 30. I can try 15. I have a feeling it's going to look really shrunk down, but I can make the width maybe 200. See what it looks like over here. I mean, it kind of still works. Yeah, it does get hard to read the powered by. I can try 20 here. 20 by 200. I guess I could do 20 by 150. Or whatever. 150 by 20. That's actually a little bit better. Because you can read it. Yeah, you can read it a lot better now. I wonder if I should center that. I guess it doesn't really matter. And what else do we have? What, at the bottom corner? No, I think they want it to be visible. Because this scrolls, bottom scrolls. I think we're better off if we just keep it visible all the time. And I was thinking I could probably put it here, but I'm thinking of maybe having a third. I might have a fourth tab here. Maybe in the future, like favorites or something. I'm not going to do favorites now, but I might do that. I've been kind of leaving that space there just in case. Although I suppose favorites would be more useful than recent. So there could be an argument there for that too. I think the other thing is too, recent favorites seem kind of the same. Kind of, sort of. Recent was going to be more like, I'm going to save your last 20 things that you've selected to your local storage on your browser. And then you'll be able to see them like right away. You don't have to go searching for them again. But yeah, with the favorite, you would have to, like I'd have to put a button on the search pages to say like, this is my favorite kind of thing, which isn't a big deal, but it's an extra click, whereas recent is not so much. I think I'm gonna make this button small because I made this large. I think I'm gonna make it small, and I think I'm gonna center this. I'm gonna center this button. I think that would look good. So let's do. Where are we at here? Search next button. Let's do reflex. And I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna leave that as a large button. This one up top, I'm gonna do button small. Feel that looks. Yeah, I like that one a little bit better. And then down here, more results. Okay. Got the hovers on all these. I just need to have them be clickable and stuff. That'll be good. Actually, they are clickable. I just don't do anything with it right now, except log. Oh, Saffrox, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you very much. And welcome, by the way. Let's see. I will fix that at some point. I know everybody's saying like when you subscribe, it takes you away from the page. They're bombarding my tweet. No, that's no problem. The whole point was to get some thoughts out there. I'm just fascinated that it fascinates me because I was perusing Twitter as I do sometimes, and on desktop you can see the number of views your tweets have gotten now. It's something new that they added, which I think they're going to take away again. Who the hell knows? But a lot of the streamers that I follow, like the big streamers, were all kind of making fun of it. Like, I'm very disappointed that 4,000 of you looked at the tweet that I told you not to look at, and all that stuff. And it just kind of got me thinking, like, it just got me thinking about view counts again, where it's like, you know, everyone, the big dunk on Twitter is like, why is this view count here? This makes no sense, right? And yet you go on any streaming site and it's like view counts are plastered all over the place. I'm like, so why does it? And, it got my mind working. Like, why is it different for Twitter versus the streaming sites? And that's kind of where my brain was going. It's like, this would be a great conversation that I wish people would, people who are much smarter than me would have, Consider until my tweet came out. Yeah, no, it's just one of those things. Like, and actually, I saw a tweet from someone who, what was the site they used to post on? I think it was a journalist on. I forget what site. I forget what site that they were a journalist for, that they wrote articles for. But the site had, at one point in time, whenever you would go to an article on that site, it would tell you how many people viewed it. And he happened to also mention on Twitter, like, I remember when, so-and-so site used to do this, and all of us, all of us authors were like, why does this exist? Why does anybody care about this? Why is this here? And it just all that stuff started to like click with me in my head. Like, oh yeah, this was the kind of thing I've been this is my soapbox that I've been on off and on for a while. Okay, so thing to do now. I want to get the search working before I get the clicking working. So let's see what I can do. Let's see what I can do with that. I think I'm partially there. Like, I'm going to use the same search results page. But I need to see if I've pulled the. But I need to wire up the actual click to it. Well, yeah, exactly, Psychotic. It's. I mean, that's kind of the soapbox that I've been on, right? Which is like the only reason YouTube and Twitch and others push these viewer counts so much is because it sells ads, right? It's to help their advertising sales, right? Because they can just say like, look at all these people looking at your ads. Look at all this. You know what I mean? And they've pushed it to the point where it's like the coup that they've pulled off is that they've managed to convince, like, they've made it so ingrained in their ecosystem but they've managed to convince non-advertisers like streamers and viewers that view count is super important, right? Oh, if I go to someone who's got 1,000 viewers, oh, they're going to be really active in chat. I'm going to be able to chat with them. I'm going to be able to get responses from them, all this stuff, and sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not. You go into 1,000 viewer stream and your chat message gets seen or it doesn't, or they just pick certain people that are regulars and they just talk to them, and everyone else is kind of, every so often maybe you get a word in edgewise, but otherwise you're generally ignored. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's one of those things, If you want to make it as a streamer financially, you need big viewer counts. Yes. And I'm not disputing that. You definitely, if you want to make it big as a streamer, you have to, your income has to be somewhat diverse, right? Because you're going to get income from subscribers. Income from subscribers is not going to be enough to do it. So you're going to need either advertisements, whether it's site advertisements, or whether it's sponsored streams, or partnerships that you have, like, with, Corsair or something like that. You know what I mean? Where you get certain kickbacks, or you're in like a ambassador program or one of those things. So yeah, no, I totally agree that it's part of that. And I know that a lot of streamers are aspiring to make a living streaming, as you're saying. I'm not disqualifying that. I'm not discounting that. What I'm saying is that I feel like we're stuck in a mindset that there's only that view counts are the only thing that is the only metric that matters, right? And I think that drives the algorithm so much that you have a situation where the big boys only get bigger and the small fries only get smaller, right? Like, it's very difficult to break through there. Where there's a lot of smaller streamers who are actually pretty decent. Sure, there's a lot that don't pay any attention to their chat, and they certainly exist. And there's a lot of, I would say there's a lot of large streamers who don't pay attention to their chat too. I mean, I don't think that's a thing that is one class versus the other. I think it's just that one of the biggest complaints we have on these platforms is discoverability, right? It's very hard to be discovered. Now, granted, there's a lot of people trying to be discovered, so it's always going to be a hard question, right? The thing is, how do you, like, I feel like the only way to answer that question is to go back to the basics and say, like, is view count really the only way to do it? Is there something better? You know what I mean? How else do you measure a streamer's advertising reach? Well, so you're speaking about sponsors and advertisers and stuff. And sponsors and advertisers are extremely important. And I'm not saying the numbers don't exist, right? I'm saying the numbers don't need to be in everybody's face all the time, is what I'm kind of getting at. Yes, view count is always going to be somewhat important because, yeah, at the end of the day, advertisers want to know that, if they paid for 10,000 impressions, they got 10,000 impressions. They want to know what kind of, they want even more than that. They want to know, like, what was the demographic that looked at them? Was it 18 to 22? Was it mostly male? Was it mostly female? They want all kinds of statistics. I'm not saying don't collect those statistics, because I mean you're going to have to. It's the market's driven by what the market demands at that point. What I'm saying is that there's another side to that kind of opens up a lot of problems. And one of those problems is those numbers are kind of magical, right? There's no formula to say, like, if I do X, Y, and Z, I get X, Y, and Z, I get, X plus Y plus Z viewers, right? There's no community involved in that, right? It's like you stream for 20 hours in the hopes that somebody will raid you, and that somebody that raids you, that some of those people stick around and they're just not empty follows. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of to put it in like gaming terms, there's a lot of RNG involved there. You know what I mean? Many large YouTube channels used to not have sponsorships or Patreon, but they needed it because the income was not safe state. Right. No. I totally get you. I totally get what you're saying. And I agree. I agree that every site is going to need advertising at some point. I mean, even Glimish is going to need to do advertising at some point, because, like it or not, servers are expensive, bandwidth is expensive, and people are cheap. That's the wrong word to use. People are not always able to, or not always in a position where they can chip in. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's life, right? You can't expect everyone to come in and be like, I'm going to drop $5 on this guy, and then I'm going to drop $5 on this other person. I'm going to drop $5 on this other person. Not everybody has the means to do that, or the wherewithal to do that, and so it's not, so subscriptions in and of themselves are not a good way to sustain any kind of platform. You know what I mean? You need other forms of income, and advertising, unfortunately, is one of those things. And if you do it right, it's not necessarily bad. It's maybe not as lucrative if you do it right. You know what I mean? Because advertisers want to be in your face as much as they can, so relegating them to the side panel is going to make them a little more frugal as far as how much money they're willing to pay for that ad. But it's, there are trade-offs and everything. And Patreon too is crowdfunding in general is something that I think sites should absolutely be able to do too. I would not fault anyone. I would not fault anyone or clone for going on Patreon and being like, here's Glimish, here's some monthly things, and we're working on this, and we're open source, and we need a little extra. We need some money to pay for the servers, because, and in fact, I would almost recommend he goes on Patreon and does something like that, because that's a whole different audience than what you've got for the website, right? But if they don't need the sponsors and view accounts, meaningless. Thanks to demonetization, it ruined it. Career streamers are worried not to put all their eggs in one basket. Well, Yeah, I mean, it was. It's debatable as to whether or not putting all your eggs in one basket was ever a really good idea. Right? I mean, that's about as old as time is. But copyright strikes and stuff. It's an unfortunate. I think the problem there is there is a segment of viewership around reacting. It's very popular on YouTube, and of course is very popular on streaming as well. And if the producers of said content, if the producers of the copywritten content and the streaming platforms could somehow get together and provide a legal way for those things to take place, because they are so popular, where everybody kind of makes out of the deal, then yeah, that would be fantastic. The problem there is the problem that we've had since the internet became a thing, right? Which is, whether it's sharing music or sharing videos, the copyright holders are often just completely out of touch with the audiences that want to consume their content, But I do agree on principle there that, that definitely takes a big chunk out of it, because there's a whole segment of the population that kind of has to roll the dice in order to be served, right? Not even kind of, just has to roll the dice in order to be served, and hope that they can squeak under the radar long enough to make something out of it. Glimish is financially stable itself for many years, will not be seen as a stable source of income, could shut down at any point, same as any other site. Yeah. I think the problem there is less the financial stability of Glimish, and more that we're still fighting the zombified corpse of Mixer, right? Like, Mixer came into the scene as Beam, and they managed to break in and just create this very special thing, a very special community, right? And when Microsoft put the kibosh to it, not only did they burn all the streamers that were on that platform, but they burned every platform to come after it, right? Because now everyone's like, all right, there's a new player in town. How long until what's your bets on how long they last until they get shut down, right? That's kind of that's the narrative that we fight every day. And it's not an unfounded fear, right? I mean, it's a definite fear. It's a definite problem. I think it was maybe less of a thought in people's minds when Mixer was at its height, even though there were still fly-by-night things going on then. But I think Mixer was the catalyst that made everyone it burned enough bridges that people were like, okay, this cannot be allowed to happen again. You know what I mean? It pushed a lot of people just completely out of streaming, or it pushed them onto Twitch where they maybe didn't want to be in the first place, and now they just feel kind of stuck there because there's a perceived stability there that, you know, may or may not actually be true. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know. Getting investment is also seen as an indicator of success. Mixer blew up when MS bought it. Well, I think, yes, Mixer blew up more when Microsoft bought it, but I feel like Beam was definitely on an upward trend there. If Beam had more runway, money wise, I think they might have come into their own even without Microsoft. I think what launched Beam even more so was that Microsoft went in and said, "Oh yeah, by the way, you can stream directly to Mixer from your console," which is like the holy grail of everything right now, right? Everybody wants to stream directly from their console, and they can't. So I think that also helped do it. It was kind of like I almost look at it as sort of a Sirius XM kind of thing, right? Like Sirius Radio, a satellite radio, kind of came into its own mostly because they got in bed with GM and they got in bed with Ford and just kind of, basically became the de facto thing, the default install in most new cars, and they just kind of muscled into that space, and I think Mixer's increase there was due to a lot of Microsoft kind of muscling its way in there and being like, oh, we have this very popular console. We can just kind of make you a default install on this console, and suddenly you've got access to an audience you didn't have before. Why some people want financial investors behind Glimish. Yeah, no, pre-installations. Yeah, Internet Explorer was definitely a thing. That's why Internet Explorer took off, because Microsoft defaulted that. In fact, it even got them in trouble in the EU, because I remember, Windows 2000 had to come with a separate CD for Internet Explorer, because the EU was like, this is a monopoly, you're not allowed to do this kind of thing, you're not allowed to bundle this kind of thing. Not because it was the best, but because it was already there. Exactly. Yeah, no, being the default install, whether it's a hardware install or a software install, definitely launches you into the consciousness more than anything else, because people will, if for no other reason, because you're there, they'll just kind of take a look at you and they'll be like, if you're halfway decent, they'll kind of stick around, even if you're not the best around. As far as like investment, investors behind Glimish, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if that's a net positive or not. You would think throwing more money at Glimish would be a net positive, but investors almost always come with their own set of baggage, right? It's rare that an investor will throw money at something and then kind of sit back and let you do your thing. It's not unheard of. It does happen, but it's very rare indeed. A lot of times they'll come in and some of the things that they'll propose are just kind of insane, And unfortunately, I think a lot of that right now especially in the tech sector, has to do with crypto shit, cryptocurrency and crap like that. That's why a lot of these, startup streaming services have some kind of crypto coin or something backing them up in the back end, because it's like the hot crap, right? And it's just, it's the worst, right? Like the one thing I like about Glimish, and I think the thing that Glimish has going for it, is that there's real money there. They're not bullshitting you with, crypto coin nonsense that, kind of, they're getting paid on the back end and on the front end and everything else. And, and you're getting paid with what is essentially something that's worth less than the paper it's printed on, it's a weird one. They always want to either integrate you into their site or integrate you into theirs. Well, yeah, that too. I've worked for plenty of tech companies that were, small startups that just got bought by another company, and the other company's like, yeah, the only reason we bought you is because our investors, we shared an investor, and the investor just wanted to get some kind of return on their investment, so they just kind of clumped us two together, even though we have no plans for you and we really have no idea what you do or really care, so we're just gonna kind of let you languish for a little bit. We'll probably fire a few people here and there, just, we'll lay off a few people here and there, and then we'll just kind of let you languish until you all leave of your own fruition, and then we'll just hold on to the IP forever. That's happened numerous times. The companies that I've worked for, where it was clear that the company buying you just had no interest in anything other than maybe holding on to your IP. And it really came down to just like, we had an investor that was the same as the investor that they had, and they just decided they wanted to clear their books, come out with some kind of win. And so they just take these two companies that are doing something completely different and just smash them together and say, go forth and multiply, But in Glimish's case, there's no IP to be obtained. The IP for Glimish is the logo. Yes, all the source code is open source, so that's not part of the IP. But the name brand would be the IP for Glimish. That's basically what they'd be paying for. And the only ones who are going to pay for that are if the name meant anything to a larger audience, So like, for instance, if someone were to buy Twitch, in order for Amazon to let go of Twitch, what they would basically do is give that person that was buying Twitch rights to the logo and branding, and that's probably it, because everything else Amazon would want to hold on to, as far as like, they might license it out, but they'll license it out as like they're doing right now, right? Like all the Twitch infrastructure is basically AWS now, and AWS has a whole streaming infrastructure package that you can pay for that is basically Twitch, right? That's why they bought Twitch. They wanted to integrate their IP into the AWS services stuff. So now Amazon's in a position where they could just hold on to that code because it's part of AWS now, essentially. And if anyone wanted to buy Twitch, what they would essentially be buying is the name brand recognition, which for Twitch would be pretty expensive because everybody knows it, and then they would just license the technology, right? Through AWS. They would just pay their AWS bills, right? So, when people say like, who's gonna, it seems like they're setting Twitch up to get bought out. They're trying to do all this advertising and stuff. It's like, well, basically that's what people are saying. It's like, it's all you're really buying is the IP at that point, and is the brand at that point, which is quite worth a lot, because it's so recognizable. Oh, exactly. That's what I'm getting at, Psychotic, is that, like, a name like Napster still holds a lot of value even without the product. Exactly. Because people know what it is. It's in the collective mindset. And so, even though there might not be any actual software that comes with purchasing Napster, just purchasing the name itself. And you could purchase the name Napster for, I don't know, we'll say $1 billion, and turn it into a sewing machine. And, that would be, like, everybody would know what a Napster is, at that point. Like, that's a sewing machine, right? Yeah. Or just buying it so nobody else can use it and not use it themselves either to kill a product. Yeah, I mean, there is a strategic advantage to doing that. I think, though, when it comes to, like, the streaming stuff, like, let's go really crazy and say YouTube buys Twitch, right? I would imagine that Twitch.com would just redirect to YouTube.com, right? At the end of the day. Like, there might be some technology difference, but it wouldn't be very big, right? Because YouTube's got a pretty established technology already, and actually, in some cases, a little bit superior, right? So, but that said, just buying that domain alone, buying that brand alone, they would immediately get a ton more people, right? Just on the brand itself. I don't think the FTC would allow them to buy Twitch, because that would be a super monopoly. But, that is essentially what would happen there. Yeah, it could be used for anything remotely music related to. Yeah, exactly. Like, you could, I mean, Spotify, if they want to. I mean, Spotify has its own name brand recognition as it is. But if they just, for craps and giggles, bought the name brand of Napster and made, Napster.com redirect to Spotify, like, I mean, that would carry a lot of weight, Or, yeah, exactly. Like, make their hardware, make hardware that was called Napster, right? Like, sort of like, instead of like an iPod, you'd have a Napster MP3 player, like you say, and that would have Spotify on it. So it would be Spotify Napster, that kind of thing. And even that would still have that brand recognition in people's heads, Napster Sirius Radio. Well, it's Sirius XM now, so it'd be Napster Sirius XM Radio. Which, again, I mean, it could work. It could definitely work. Yeah. Let's see here. I want to do... that. I want to get I almost got the search wired up here. Here's the search button. I want to do going to do search. Got all the stuff on it, right? Limit, position, okay. And then search term limit and next. Just want to do basically the same as this. I want to do show search, and this will be query or whole term. Search results. Up over. Search, okay. That will be. So that goes in here. Just that show search. The button though. So I gotta do search field is document.get element by ID. What did I call it? I called it this. Field that now. Whoops. Oh, come on. Stop doing that. Limit would be 20. I would say. Yeah, if you're hitting the search button, then you're doing a new search. What is the process for the work I've done so far, like co-streaming? Does that go for review, then get released as a site update? So, what I do is when I'm finished, I have a fork of the Glimesh repo, right? And I check in everything to branches here, like feature branches and all that stuff. And then when I'm done, I can, I think it's under contribute, you can say open pull requests, right? And then that pull request, you type out what you want to, what you've done and everything else, like a description and all that stuff here, right? And then it'll be, you can see here it says it's coming from my feature live homepage tags branch to go into dev. And then so I just do that. It runs some checks in the background, so like it'll run all the tests, and it'll run like the code quality stuff, which I also run before I do the pull request, just so I know that this should succeed. And then it sits out here, and hopefully Clone eventually gets around to it, takes a look at it, and we'll merge it down dev. And then once it gets merged into dev, then at some point, I assume he has some kind of maintenance window when he does things. He'll get it out there along with any other things he's merged down. And that's basically it. That's how it goes. Now I have a bunch of them just kind of sitting out here. I know Mythos got Interactive is ready to go, and that's sitting out there now too. So I don't know. I wish I knew when and if Clone is going to get around to these, to looking at them, because he has to review them and do all that stuff. So I have no idea. They're just kind of sitting out there. You can see I've got stuff out there from November 20th. What else? I have some fixes out there as well, some bug fixes. 3 weeks ago, 4 days ago, whole bunch of stuff. So we'll see. Hopefully, I assume he's just like bogged down in just stuff right now. And hopefully he'll get around to it and get stuff out there. It would be really nice to get this out in front of the community and, some stuff going. But yeah, beyond that, I don't have any control. Once I've made the pull request, it's kind of out there, and I'm just kind of waiting to get any kind of feedback. Might bring in a few more streamers for things like co-streaming, etc. Yeah, I've put co-streaming on pause just for a little bit because it was sort of driving me a little bit batty. I was getting a little bit bummed out because any developer that works on something for a long period of time will tell you that it just kind of, at some point, you just kind of need a break from it, because it's just like you're constantly running into problems and you're fixing them and you're making like little progress, but then you're not making progress and all that stuff. So yeah, exactly. Psychotic. Yeah. So I mean, that's where I am with that right now. I just wanted to take a little break from it, kind of regather my thoughts on it, and I wanted to get a bunch of other things done, right? Because it's I wish, and this kind of leads back to my tweet earlier in the week, where it was like, I feel like I am too little too late on things. I feel like I like this pace of like doing small stuff and trying to get like little progress here and there done. I wish I had started doing it earlier in the year. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I had started it back in February, rather than in November or October, really. Because it just, I don't know, it feels better. It feels like there's more participation in the community. You can see stuff happening. You know what I mean? Hey, Techno Freak, welcome. You can see stuff happening. You can get some thoughts in on stuff, and it just feels like it's less of a grind and more of a like, we're making little bits of progress here. And I wish I had started doing that a lot earlier than I did. Because I think it's been a perfect storm, right? Where it's like, I just started doing this, where I'm doing lots of small changes, and I just happened to pick the worst possible time to do it, where Clone was like starting a family and all this stuff, and it's like, ugh, like I picked probably the worst possible time to do it, Exactly, Psychotic. I think it does make the platform feel alive. Small changes that actually make it out to everybody, so you can see like, oh no, stuff is still happening with the platform. Things are still going. It's alive and well, and people are doing things. And I feel like I missed the boat a little bit on there too, because like back in October we were getting like 20 or more streamers going at once on the platform, and then it's kind of dropped back off again. You know, it's like man, which I mean, it normally drops off anyway this time of the year for all platforms, but it feels like I always have a good idea when it's already too late to implement the good idea. You know, project is not abandoned. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, right? It's like you want the place to feel like you want, like I'm constantly out there like saying like, you know, I want suggestions, I want, you know, thoughts, I want all this stuff. But then if the site doesn't change and nothing seems to work with the site, like eventually people are going to be like, why should I bother thinking about it if nothing's going to change, right? It's like I'm trying to stave off that part of it. Like the terrible optics of the open data page. Building Glimesh has dried up a little too. Well, exactly. I mean, I think it's all symptoms of a similar thing, right? Which is like, you know, people are making these suggestions, and even in Discord, you know, people are making suggestions, and then nothing seems to happen, right? It just kind of sits out there. And I mean, I have other issues with the Discord. I feel like, I don't know about anybody else, but I get really frustrated when I go through the Discord and people are asking questions and stuff, and the first response they get is, this isn't the right place to ask that question, you should ask it over here, and they get bounced somewhere else. And I'm like, I get super frustrated just reading that, and I'm not the one getting bounced from one from one channel to another. I'm like, for the love of all that's holy, if we just have a, like, Discord has a forum thing now, like, just like put all the questions in a forum and just stop bouncing people around all the time. If they have questions, they have questions. Who cares if it's a platform question or a, you know, what color underwear you wear question? Like, just like, you know, stop bouncing them all over the place. You know what I mean? It just, I mean, I get frustrated by that, and I'm just reading through them. Like, I'm like, damn it, now I gotta go over here and read the rest of the thread, you know? I'm just like, ah, damn, guys, like, let's just, like, keep it simple. Keep it simple. It doesn't have to be super complicated. Just keep it simple. It'll work out. It'll be fine. Everything will be great. Well, exactly, Psychotic. That's the other thing. Like, you know, it's not everybody wants to put in the time to go to Building Glimesh to do something. And I get that. And I understand that. And yes, it's very hard to pull out those conversations from Discord. So maybe there's maybe there's a middle ground there, right? Which is, maybe those are turned into threads, and then we can read the threads better. I don't know what that middle ground is. But I feel like there's one there somewhere. Because I get it. Not everybody wants to just, like... Building Glimesh is... For me as a developer, it's a much better spot because I can see the conversations that are going on without trying to scroll through 9,000 other things. And I know that I'm not missing something because I can see the whole conversation there and I'm not missing something that was scattered in the middle. But it's a big ask, right? Because it's just like, it's like asking your users to open a bug ticket, right? Most of them are just not going to bother because, I got to go to this other site, I got to register, I got to type out all this stuff, and I don't got time for that. I don't want to learn something new, right? They know Discord, they know they can spew something out on Discord real fast and be done with it, right? So it's like, okay, that's fine. It's you know, as long as they're getting their idea out there and we can do something with it, then let's do something with it, you know? Go where the users are. Don't make them come to us. Right? You know? I mean, that's just the way it is. You know? Whether it's ideal for me or not, I am not. My comfort is secondary to that of the community, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's the community that's making me go crazy, right? Because I'm the one that's got to write the code. But I chose to be going crazy because I want to help the community. So my comfort is secondary to the community's ability to send me all their ideas, right? So that's the way I look at it. Whether or not that's the correct way to look at it is another. I can tell you for certain that I am definitely an outlier as far as like any of that's concerned. Like, tell any of my colleagues in work, you know, hey, just send us your stuff in Teams instead of opening up a Jira ticket for it. They would like murder small woodland creatures. I'm definitely an outlier when it comes to that, right? Because there's some kind of tracking that has to happen there. And I agree with them on that as well. It's like, yeah, it is kind of necessary for them to open a Jira ticket because I need to be able to go to my boss and be like, this is what I've been working on for the last 2 weeks, you know? Here's the thread, right? Not like I've got something that just came in on Teams, you know? So I get that. But at the same time, I'm a little bit less, I'm a little bit less stringent when it comes to some of that stuff, you know? But then again, I'm old, and I'm yelling at clouds because that's what I do. How's art? So apparently this spider dungeon is supposed to give me an amulet of looting, and I've yet to get one. Keeps giving me these friggin' leather boots, and it's pissing me the frig off. Because I can't tell it to like constantly redo the same dungeon over and over and over again. I have to actually manually click on it and say, rerun this dungeon. Yeah, equip the amulet of looting from the spider forest, as though I still haven't got it. Like, come on, game. Throw me a bone here, game. And then not only do you need that, but then there's something in the bank here where you need like 5 of them to buy it. Like, where was that at? This one here, loot container stacking. You need 5 amulet of lootings, and I can't even get freaking 1 of them. Like, come the hell on. Like, I know you're an idle game, but at least, like, let me redo an area without having to constantly monitor it. My cackles are up now. This is what happens. Anyway. So I'm taking the value of the search field. I'm going to say give us 20 results back. And I'll set the dispatched to true here. I'm using that to make sure I can tell between these buttons. All these buttons are ones that are on the page once, and these are on the page multiple times. So I need to find out which one was clicked and all that stuff by doing the closest stuff. That's why I have these separated. The other thing I need to do for this search is I want to put another. This is an on-click listener. I want to put another listener on it that does the key down, so I can. If you hit enter on it, it'll actually. It's not even so much as hitting enter. More like, well, yeah, I guess enter would be one, and then also put an on change on it to say like after you've typed 2 letters in, then start to do the autocomplete stuff maybe. Let's see if I can get a regular search to work. What we've got so far. Stepping stones here. Alright, so we'll search for explosion. That did not work. Alright. Doesn't look like it even kicked off. I don't think it's yeah, I don't see a call going out to the API, so it might not have even seen that go. Reaction gifts, search button. Reaction gifts. Search button. Alright, let's see if I can those off. Like rating isn't happening tonight. Two-Face Rose. I might switch gears. I don't think I'm gonna finish the tenor stuff tonight. I just wanted to do a little bit more. I wanted to at least get the search working. There's still more stuff I gotta do in the back end. Like I don't have it writing to the chat yet or anything like that. So I might switch gears in a little bit here. Let me see. I just want to at least get this search bar working here. Because I've already done quite a bit today on this. One of the scrolls were no. This is good stuff. This is all about like I said, I I've been working on this during the day, so night is not necessarily, the streams are not necessarily get stuff done streams. They're more like, let's have a conversation streams, because otherwise it would be like a super boring cut and dry stream, right? Just hearing me try to figure out why stuff isn't working. Instead of, having some conversations along the way is always good, I think. And especially even like if you have ideas and stuff like that, by all means, This is I view this as a community stream more so than a Memory League Death stream. A Memory League Death stream is me belly aching about how much I hate Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This is more of a general community stream where I could belly ache about other things, but for the most part, it's to have discussions and things Because I don't have a podcast. This is my podcast. In a sense. Let's go. And let's try this. It is getting in here. Is it not finding a search field? Search field is set to... It's set. So... Oh, am I being a doofus again? To be this? Because I'm probably mixing my jQuery again, right? Field val is not a function. I bet it's just search field value, right? Here we go. Path is not fine. Oh, yeah. I know what's going on there. Okay, I need... right, because I need to... the search doesn't have a path. I go into search here, and then... So I'm calling build search results, which is looking for a path. Which is for the next item, which I don't need. I need... basically the same. I want the same HTML, but without the path. Build. Build. Search results. Search results. Build search. Here's the next down there. And all the rest should be the same because all the results come back the same way. And I'll keep the back to category list there because if you want to go back to something you already have selected, it'll make more sense to have that. So that's good. Build search results. Search results is that. Don't need a term or anything. Is search bringing me back the same thing here? No, I want to bring it back the way that I have it there. That works out really well. I want to do it. We get the results and the pointer to the next page of results. Bring it back like this makes it look like an object coming back. I can just access that really easily. That's really nice. Okay. Try that again. Not quite. Why did that breakpoint not get hit before? Weird. See, now it called. And search for it. Those are definitely explosions. More results. Not. Oh, I gotta change the more results. I know why that didn't work. Battery list. So, explosion. Why is that not working under normal conditions? Now it's working, but it wasn't working before? That's weird. So is the need not resolve. Definitely not. Getting that click all the time. Button. Why is that? That time it saw it. That time it didn't. Weird. Something with this when it gives you the tries to fill in the thing there. Having to hit it twice. You had to do that. I wonder why that is. And actually, something else too. This should have. I should probably put this focus on here. Hey, Ramirez. Yep, gift reactions. Just kind of working a little bit on it. Not going to finish it today, but just doing a little bit more here. Let me do. Let me stay. You know what? I'm going to turn autocomplete off on now. Or, yeah, autocomplete, auto suggestions, something like that. Where the heck is it at? Down here, search input, type text. What's the HTML5 input to complete? Off. And what's the it's text. Autocomplete. Next wave, placeholder. Right. Autofocus, that's what I was looking for. Autofocus. Autofocus, autocomplete. Autocomplete. Off. Autofocus. I don't know if that'll actually work with the pop-up, but we'll see. No, it didn't. That's going to be a little bit annoying, isn't it? I guess I could have JavaScript that focuses it. When you open here, let's do that. Say, here. And click this to show. Show and then document element by ID. Focus. That's annoying. Well, that time it worked. What the hell, man? Why is like the first time I do this, it's out of whack? Yeah, that's weird. It's like the first time I click on that, nothing works. The second time it works fine. Or subsequent times it works fine. Why is... I come in here, and I'll bet nothing works. Oh no, that's working. So listening for enter keystroking, you can add on submit. The problem is the reason I'm avoiding the on submit, the chat form is above this one, and it's listening for on submit. And so I was running into a problem with that earlier where my buttons, I didn't specify a type for the buttons, so it defaults to submit. So whenever you would hit like back to category or something, it would try to submit the chat message. And it was like, and it gives you that like requires a value error. Yeah, so that's why I've been being extra cautious with that, because it's like it tries to actually submit a chat message, just because of where it's at on the screen and everything. So that's why I'm doing like all this little maneuvering around it. But I wonder if that doesn't work. The first attempt. Very annoying. Very annoying that it doesn't work when you first come on the page. Cannot read properties of null. Oh, it's still not. Autofocus processing was blocked because the document already has a focused element. Oh, the send a message is already a focused element. Okay. I see why that was blocked. But this one, okay, so it can't. So the thing wasn't on the page yet. Right, because it's based on promises and nonsense. Right. So if I want to do this, right. Best to just do it in here when I set the content. But by that point, when we're setting the content, I've gotten everything back at that point. That's yeah, now it's there. Oops. Now this isn't working. Why is that now? Is that no? Sure, it's the only one on the page. Document that get notes. The action gift search button. It's the only one on the page. You know what I can do? I can put a console log to see what the target is. Yeah. Let's see. That and why does it like that time it worked? It's really annoying here. Let's do this. Let me refresh while that's open still. God damn it. Why does that work? Why does that work now and it wasn't working before? Why does it work when the debugger is open and not when it's not? I'm going to close this window. I'm going to refresh this. It doesn't freaking work. Why are you a pain in my ass? Why? Why do you pretend to work when the debugger is open? Alright. And we'll inspect now after the feed is done. Yeah, the target ID is empty. Why is the target ID empty? Why would that be? Why? Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense why it would be empty. Why you no work correctly? What if so we know that the browser's unhappy about the autofocus. Let me turn that off. In case somehow, some way that's causing this nonsense. Do that. Leave that. Nope. No, it's still. That's wild. Like, why would that be? It's like it won't do it at all here. Like, it's just saying that button doesn't exist. You know, target ID is empty. 11 times, repeat it. So how is that happening? I wonder if is it like a Z order thing, or is it think it's disabled? Folder. Type button. Title cert. And somehow running the debugger is I mean, I could forego the button altogether. Just say you just have to enter. Maybe it's an async thing. The debugger slows down enough to work. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be the thing. It's got to be what's going on. Well, either that or the debugger is somehow changing the... somehow changing the focus, maybe? Or, I mean, yeah, I mean, the focus is on the text box. It works otherwise. I wonder... Here's a question. Search button exists. Okay, it exists. But some kind of, yeah, it's some kind of event thing where the events are passing in the night. And the debugger's slowing down the event enough that it's getting its ID correctly. Why that one button and not any of the other buttons? That's a... What's really weird. Although I will say that button was acting a little bit weird anyway. When it came to laying out the stuff, like it kept wanting to be off the screen when I was laying out the button and stuff on there. So maybe that's indicative of something else going on. Like I specifically had to put a Where's that? And I put a margin right 2 on it to keep it from clipping off the screen. Partially clipping off the screen. I wonder if there. Let me see if there's a target at all. Maybe that'll give me a clue. There. The target is an HTML element, but it has no ID. So, what else could I look at on HTML element? Because everything's supposed to be, I mean, everything's supposed to have an ID. Even if it's just an internal ID. I could grab the inner HTML. That would tell me where it's at. Around that. That on here somewhere. Let's do it on there. Oh, that's easy enough to try it. Nothing. Okay. It has, so it's an element with nothing in it. Maybe I can grab the... Where's the attributes at? Element dot attributes. Do that. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe the font awesome icon is what it is triggering off of. God, it just gave me a name node map back. God damn it. Attributes, named node map. Length, item. Give it a data attribute and check that. I can, yeah, I can try that. Node objects. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to do that because this gives me a name node map back. Can I get, wait, can I get the keys from the map? Item. Get named item. Doesn't look like it. The length back from it. All right, let's do, put a data element on it. Where is thing at here? All right, so we'll do data. Wait. Well, no, that'll yeah. I can look at the data attribute. You can look at the data attribute. The data font awesome. And then we'll put one on this one. Data search button. All right. And where am I going here? There we go. DOM string that. Killed me here. We'll do search button. What did I call it? I called it font awesome and search button. Yeah, I guess I better give them something here. No. Okay, yeah, it is definitely on the font awesome. That's weird. Why would it trigger off the font awesome? Instead of the button that it's actually a part of. That's so weird. It works any other time. I wonder if for buttons, do I have to do... Because there's ID and then there's... You know what? Screw it. Screw it. Search button icon. Bam. Done. And all I just gotta do is just say this. Going up here. I mean, why fight it? Why fight it at all? Embrace the jank. Sometimes you just gotta embrace the jank and just roll with the flow here. Icon. I'm surprised. Well, oh, frickety frick. It's not bubbling up because I'm returning fall. I did that because I didn't want things to bubble up beyond the parent here. So that must be what's part of the problem. Yeah, I don't. You know what? Sometimes you can't win for losing, right? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's one of those things. If that's the jankiest part of it, then I mean, it's been a good day, I think. Let's see. This again. From here, we'll do tests. Yeah, now it's working. More. Oh, I gotta fix the more results thing. Because that's gotta come in. Category search results. Search, next button. The category search next button. Alright. Category search next button. Alright, and then this will just be regular. Next button. Show search would be well, shit. I guess I should put the search thing on there. I mean, yeah, I guess I do need that. So when I do show search, so when I do build search results, I should pass the term in. Yeah, and then build search results term, and down here we'll just do need a term. That and when we're doing this, the path will stay term 20, and then the next, and then that will work. Okay. So explosion. This is page 1. So more results. Explosion page 2. Oh, there's Linus Tech Tips. Another page 3. Oh, we got this cat is constantly making it onto the list. Alright, so that's working there. I can go to featured. I can look at angry. I can go up and go back. I stay. I'll go back to trending, huh? That was unintentional. Thought I stayed on here. Taking me back to trending. Why is that? I don't reset that when I do that button. That go back button. Or actually use category back button. I have it on both of those. Oh. I mean, I'm checking to see which one to show. When I do show featured and show trending, that should... Oh, is this another... I think I know what's going on here. Tap. Yeah. Go featured, play this, back to category. No, let's go back to trending. Why you do that? if I take this?
Wow, I can't believe how fast these years have gone by. As I stand up here, looking out there at you.
There we go. Now it's staying on the correct category. Featured, trending, category list. Excellent. Search for help. Boom. Oh, we got Toad here. Help me, please. Okay. All right. That's starting to work. So we got the search working. I do need to get the have it work with an enter key and stuff like that, but that's not going to be a big deal. Now that we got the button working, it'll be the same code there, and then I want the recents to show up, which is just going to be me whenever you click something, saving it to your local storage and then having that show up on recent. And then actually clicking on one of these should then put it into chat. Item selected. You see, I'm grabbing the item ID selected. This is not the right URL. I found out there's like 20 different URLs that come back, but most of them are for the actual page and not for the actual image or the actual media. You have to dig in to find the actual media, but that's fine. It's not that hard to do. So, all right, cool. I might finish this. Actually, probably will finish this tomorrow. But I do want to. I know it's getting. We're already at 11 o'clock, but I do want to get. I want to start on the whatchamajoosit. I want to start on raids, or at least looking at what it's going to take to do raids. So, do get status, get add dot. More functionality for energy. Boom. The music's been really good tonight. It's good. Got the classic rock station going. Do 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 do. All right, so we got all that pushed out there. So let's do get checkout dev. All right, get checkout -b to create the branch feature / raids raiding. Sure, raiding. There we go. That was step 1, creating a branch. Now, let's see where we're at. All these things are blocked out because they're not on this branch. So first things first. First things first. We start out at our humble beginnings with another settings page. I can remember where the hell these pages are. is hosting. Channel settings live. Channel settings live. All right. We take this as the template. And clear everything out here. Yeah, I don't need very much stuff yet on there. I'm gonna need some more stuff later, but I don't need to suggest channels on there. But oh, we are gonna need a we're definitely gonna need a raid finder. Because like everything on Glimish, rating's not gonna be turned on by default. You have to turn it on. So that is another thing. Let's get the channel settings going at least. Oop, rename. Okay. Reading. Remove host. All of that. User channel. Allow hosting. We'll have a change set as well. That. Hosted channels. Okay, and then allow rating change sets. Settings, and then we'll just do for right now. I'll say vanilla for second. Okay, let's save that. Got rating here. What's the problem? Oh, I don't have this. Back it off. Do that again. And then it's probably going to complain about not having a text file for it. Copy. Go. Yeah, we got a bunch of things that we're probably not going to need. Oops. Oh, those we won't need. We will need Actually, do we need channel? Oh, yeah, we will need that. There. Then reading info. There. Manage reading. Reading. Toggle allow. Reading. Being rated. Rating. Rating. Other streamers may raid my channel. This be a raid psychotic kind of deal or via a modal? It's going to be via a page. Well, it's going to be ultimately via the streaming page. For right now, because we don't really have any commands yet set up, and I don't want to I don't necessarily want to dig into the chat yet to do commands, because I kind of want to do it right. Well, I kind of want to do those as a separate thing, you know what I mean? So what I was thinking of, and I probably should talk about this, because this is kind of give you an idea what I'm thinking. So what I was thinking was, so you're streaming and you're like, okay, I'm ready to kind of get off and I want to raid somebody. So if you're a streamer and B live, under your drop down here for your name, we'll have a raid finder. I'll probably put it under the channel, between channel and profile here maybe. Or maybe after profile, I don't know. We'll put it somewhere here. Put raid finder here. Because there's really nowhere else to put it. I would, if I could, I would put it on a dashboard page, but we don't have dashboard yet. So until we have a dashboard, this is the best I can think of. So put it under here. You would click on the raid finder. It would do a search. It would take you to a page. It's like a search results page. You know, similar to like the, I don't have the server running, but similar to like the gaming streams page here, right? Where you can filter and all that stuff, right? So it'd be similar to this. And then on here, you would click on, just like you do now, you know, you find something you like, you click on it, you go to that person's stream page. Now, the way I was going to do it was I was going to sort it. At the top, I was going to put the channels that you have in your hosting list at the top. If any of them are live, put those first. And then have channels under the same category as you. And then channels, and then other channels, I guess. What if I put it in the streamer's support modal? Oh, I don't know if I want to put it there. Because that's kind of... It's kind of busy right now as it is. I don't have my server up right now. This modal's kind of busy as it is. And it sort of means something different, right? It means like you're monetarily supporting them. Not figuratively. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of want to keep it separate. Well, you won't be supporting yourself monetarily. Yeah, but this button only shows up if you have, you know, your support turned on too. You know what I mean? So I don't want to change the logic of that to be like, you know, this shows up also if you have rating turned on. I feel like we're overloading a button that means something else. I'm trying to avoid confusion if I can with that. But basically what I'm thinking is, well, the raid finder over here, you go and pick your channel that you want to look at. It takes you to their channel page, which I think is the important thing. I think the important thing is that you land on their channel page and you can sit there and watch them for like a couple seconds and see their chat and all that stuff. I think that's the most important thing. And then on this page, probably down here where, you know, the report user stuff is, or maybe up top too. I don't know. I could put it up here too. We'll have a raid button, and again, it would only show up if you, the streamer, are live currently. If you're not live, if you're just a viewer, you won't see it. But if you are live currently on the site and you're on someone else's page, you'll see that button. Well, yeah, we need the raid finder because not everybody's going to have the raid functionality turned on, right? Raid button itself will be on the stream you want to raid. Yes. But without that raid finder, it's going to be really hard. I mean, technically it's not going to be that hard, but you know, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be harder to find somebody you can raid, right? Whereas the raid finder will tell you, oh, all these people have the raid button turned on. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be off by default. So at least it makes it a little bit easier to find somebody. That's the only reason why I'm kind of pushing the raid finder a little bit, is because I'm going to default the raids to off. So you have to, as a streamer, you have to turn them on. Add a filter to the browse page search. It could. I could add it there. I don't know, it depends. I guess I mean, at that point I could also just put a tag on, I could put like a badge on people's streams to say that they're raid available. I don't know. It's a good idea. I think what I was thinking with the raid finder is that I could sort it differently. Like I could put your hosted channels at the top, because presumably those are people you're going to want to raid more often than others. And then theoretically I could show across categories, not just the current category that you're in, like not just gaming. But I don't know how many people are going to raid someone who's not in gaming, if that's the category that they're in. That's a good question. The following page. Well, I could put it on there too. So if we went to the profile. Oh, I gotta start the server up. or not profile, but go following. What you're saying. I go following here. Come on, you can do it. There you go. And show all the live streams that you're following. Yeah, I could do it on there too. Well, there's nothing stopping them from going on their following page and just clicking through, right? Because in order to raid somebody, you gotta click through to their stream. I'm not like stopping you from doing that. It feels unintuitive and overcomplicated. The raid finder page, you think? I don't know. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I'm not forcing anybody to go to the raid finder page. Well, I mean, the other thought is I could put a category up here that only shows up when you're live. I could put the raid finder here next to app too. I mean, that's another thought. And then that way it only shows up when you're live and you have when you're live, I guess. I could do that. Because I get what you're saying. It's a little bit buried under that other menu, and that's kind of the problem right now, right? Without having a streamer dashboard, everything's kind of buried in the site. So I get what you're saying there. Yeah, I could do that. I could put it up next to at, because it'll only be there when you're live. And that way it's faster to get to, too. Because you can get to it right from the home page. Kind of like the stream setup button. Yeah. Yeah, but I wouldn't... You don't think I should put it over here where stream setup is, right? Should I put it over where app is? Okay. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, I can see that, like... But I'll make it blue. I'll make it a blue button instead of gold, so it doesn't. The gold button is a little bit much as it is. I feel like it's a bit much. I get why it's there, but it's a bit much. But I can do our normal blue buttons. Yeah. And I guess at that point, you know what? I'll just show you all the streams. I'll just let you pick which one. Like I won't filter them by category or anything. I'll just show you all the live streams that are raid capable. I mean, I guess that's the question, is like, should I sort that list? Because right now, when you go on these browse pages, it's random. Should I sort the list such that it I don't know. How would I sort it? What would I sort it by? I guess I could sort it by... I could group it by category. Like, at least have all the, like, gaming streams together and all the art streams together. The only problem is it'll prefer a certain order there, so it'll be like the art streams will probably always show up top, even if that's not appropriate for what you're doing. Viewer count low to high. Yeah, right. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Good shot though. It was a good try. Shit. Hey, you know what? The more I think about it, the more it's... The more it seems like I should just use the existing browse pages. Because we've got, what, game tags and language, and I could just put another one that's like RAID capable. RAID friendly, yeah. Something like that. Or can RAID. Maybe can RAID, maybe. I don't want to make a judgment call on whether somebody is RAID friendly. They might be RAID hostile, but they still allow it. Yeah, and that would end up actually being less code I'd have to write, because adding a filter is actually not too bad. We already saw what adding a filter entailed. It wasn't actually that bad, all things considered. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be... Goddamn Raiders, welcome. That's... You took the words right out of my mouth. Goddamn Raiders. I was having a conversation here, you bastards. Yeah. Yeah, no, the more I think about it, yeah, that's probably the way to go. Okay. That's what we'll do there. Got a filter here. So if you want to raid somebody, if you're live, you just come to the home page, select whatever category you want, and select can raid yes on the filters. It'll filter out everybody who doesn't allow raiding, and you pick which stream you want to go to. Then you go to that stream page, and up here next to the follow button and the support button, and I guess eventually the interactive button, you'll have a raid button. I think that's probably the more important thing, is like the raid button itself is to have it on the streamer's page, because I want raiders to be forced to watch the channels that they're raiding, make sure that they're doing their due diligence and not just like, I mean, I can't force them to watch, but I can at least force them to come onto the page and make sure there's some kind of chat going on and whatever else. You know, they're not just like randomly picking names out of a hat kind of a thing. Yeah. So, the other part of that, I'm throwing this one out there for thoughts. The other part of that is like you say, okay, you as a streamer say, I'm going to raid this channel. My thought was it would kick off when you hit that raid button, it would kick off a timer. We'll say a 30-second timer. And everyone who's viewing your channel will get a little message maybe at the top of the chat here. It's like, so-and-so is rating channel X. Do you wish to participate? Yes, no. If you don't say anything, it'll automatically say yes and it'll pull you along. Otherwise, you can say no and it'll keep you on the page. Yeah, same as Twitch, yeah. The only problem the only issue with that is I gotta figure out how to send that message to everybody, but I think I can do it. I think it's possible. I just have to figure out how to do it. That's probably going to be the hardest part of the whole thing. Maybe a user setting for auto join raids by default. Well, I figure that if the default is yes, that probably takes care of that. You know, I mean, I can see people being like, oh, I hate that because it pulls me along when I'm not paying attention, and I feel kind of the same way. Like I don't. There are times when I have a Twitch thing running in the background, and I walk away, go to the bathroom or something, and I come back and it's like, you know, I forgot that it was there, and I come back, I put my headphones on, I'm like, who the hell am I listening to? And I'm like, you know, five streamers deep at that point. If half your viewers are AFK, it's kind of a shitty raid. Agreed. Kind of like opt in. No, for the viewers, the default will be yes. If they don't select anything in 30 seconds, it'll pull them along, which it's fine. I mean, part of me kind of agrees that maybe the user should have a setting to say, like, you know, don't join. Yeah, I'm a bit on the fence too. Because you're right, if you're AFK, should you really participate in a raid at all? And that's a good question. I don't have an answer to that. Whether he should or not. Because I realize that there are, like, I know that there are some lurkers who will keep tabs open to people on Glimish to support them. If they wake up in the morning and they've been bounced around to 5 different channels, is that supporting? I don't know. I really don't know. That's a hard question. Yeah. I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's supporting. It's at least somewhat supportive to the streamer themselves, because they can look at their viewer count and be like, "Oh, I just have a bunch of lurkers, and that's fine," you know. But I mean, there are plenty of streamers who don't like lurkers either, so I have no idea. Maybe default to yes, but then remember the last setting the viewer chose. So if they opted out of the last raid, then don't opt them in automatically. Yeah, I could do that. I could save their choice in the local storage, browser local storage, like we do with their volume control, and just remember it from then. You really don't understand all the hate around lurkers. Yeah, it comes down to what kind of, it comes down to what an individual streamer's definition of success is, right? Like, if you're I'm very introverted, right? So interacting with people is a very exhausting task for me. So my definition of a successful stream is a little bit different than someone who, say, is very extroverted and wants to have lots and lots and lots of interactions with people. I like to have I'm more motivated by having good conversations than having a lot of interactions. A lot of people are motivated by just having a lot of interactions, whether they're just jokes, whether they're off the cuff comments, whether they're just, reaction gifs, whatever the case may be. They just like to see that chat window going, right? And me, I like conversation more. It means that if I had a lot of viewers, I'd miss a lot of the other chat going on, right? Because a lot of the chat is just kind of off the cuff things, and that might make those viewers feel like they're being excluded a little bit. But my definition of success is being able to have like thought-provoking conversations and stuff. I mean, I get that I play video games, and how many thought-provoking conversations you're going to have about the boss encounter you just had. But, it's like, sometimes things can be... sometimes things can be catalysts for other things, You're not really paying much attention to the view count. Yeah, no, I don't either. I mean, a long time ago, I came to realization that I'm not necessarily mainstream applicable, as far as content is concerned, right? Like I've been doing YouTube for a long time, and I have still not hit 1,000 subscribers. And there are people who hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube within their first month, and I've been doing it since 2013. It's the nature of the beast, right? It's like either you've got the personality or you really don't. And that's fine. I'm not one to sort of ruminate over something I can't necessarily change. It's just I am what I am, and I got to it. I got to the whole YouTube thing late, you know. I got the 2013 wasn't as late as others, but it was still pretty late, you know. There's a lot of people who got to the streaming thing earlier than 2013, and a lot of those people, you know, had very big followings because of that. They just been around forever, you know. Some of them have seen their followings drop off a lot too. You know, it's the nature of how it goes. Most game streams would be light conversations to Mr. Focus on the game, but dev streams near watch and chat more often. Yeah, I definitely am more distracted by the game in gaming streams. And I do get my fair share of distraction by the code here too when I'm doing dev stuff. I think the difference is that the difference for me personally is game streams. I've always struggled with holding a conversation, right? Like with dev streams, I'm more confident because, you know, I've been doing development for so long that I kind of just, you know, I know that if I talk off the top of my head, I can figure things out, and there's a lot more to kind of discuss and talk about. Whereas with games, it's like, it's a lot harder, at least for me personally, to find a way to connect with the audience where the audience isn't mostly being passive. And there's plenty of streamers out there who know how to connect with their audience without the audience being passive. But that said, there are a lot of streamers that I've seen that are like, you know, up in the upper echelons of like Twitch and stuff, who will do a just chatting stream and have tens of thousands of viewers, and then switch over to a game and lose half their viewers, right? And I don't think the streamer themselves have lost their personality or have done anything wrong or different. It's just that the interaction changes from one task to the other. And I think that's it's very relevant. It's one of the very difficult things about content creation. And I'm talking not only just Twitch but YouTube. Like, one of the hardest things with YouTube, like I started out with like Cube World and Minecraft and stuff like that. And I can tell you that the old Minecrafters, the ones that got really popular, have struggled mightily to make channels where they play anything other than Minecraft.